Welcome to the first episode of Off the Top. I'm your host, Garcelle Brunache, where I give you the inside scoop of some of your favorite creatives, whether that be dancers, artists, musicians, or cooks, anything in the creative field. Today we have multi-talented guest, Kingcasso.
Step in the spot and I'm looking for doobie. They on my body, so let's make a movie. When she make it clap, that shit sound like a Uzi. She wanna lock it down like I'm in Julie. The way that she shake her hips, baby won't bite.
Come and roll the dice. Come and ride in the porch, you guys. The ghost is the ghost. Man, I wanna rock. If I get behind you, you better not stop. Say that you coming, you better not flop. I can tell that you driving the boat a lot. Come and roll the dice. Come and ride in the porch. Yeah. It's your body that I wanna rock. If I get behind it, you better not stop. Say that you coming, you better not flop. I could tell that you driving the boat a lot. Come and roll the dice. You wanna ride in the porch, guys? Don't cry in the rape, let the stars align. Feeling your body.
If it's me and you, then it's home. Like, wait, let me rock your body. Come and be beside me. Ain't trying to catch a homie. But I be on your body.
Hello.
How you doing today?
Doing good, thank you for having me.
All right, so let's get into it. Like, Kingcasso, where did that name originate from? How did you get it?
So it comes from a lot of many different things in like relation to my life growing up. So I started off doing poetry. So my stage name was Tristan Picasso. One of my favorite artists as far as painters is Picasso as well. In high school or elementary and high school, like my aunts and teachers would call me Casanova. And then it just became a thing, so I didn't want to get rid of it. So my Instagram was originally like Casanova. So when I switched over, I was like, Cas God, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just keep it Casso, Kingcasso, since it's been following me my entire life in some way, shape, or form. So instead of, putting, Picasso, just Casso.
Okay, and talk to us a little bit more about you writing poetry. Does that still like seep into the music that you write today?
I feel like it does seep in because I do like to storytell when I write music, not just my own stories, but the people around me, or things that I see as well. Like some of my music is either I make it based off of what I'm going through, or I make it based off of the people that surround me. Like I'll ask if it's okay for me to write about it, and then go from there. So, and since poetry takes you have some type of subject matter and you build around it, I feel like it definitely influences how I write. For majority of the songs, some songs are just fun songs, so you're just doing whatever. But I feel like for a lot of the more emotional songs, they're really based around what I'm going through or what someone's going through. So I kind of just tap back into that side of the brain where you have a subject matter and you want to write about it. So start, middle, and end.
So what's the difference between poetry and just writing? Just you add a beat to it?
Yeah, but also like different formats. Like it's a different format, like different cadence to spoken words versus music. Sometimes you can write spoken words as if it's a song and you just don't have a beat behind it. But I feel like there's different schemes, different pockets that you could get in for either one. It's very similar with, obviously sometimes you can still rhyme, sometimes you're just telling a story. But I feel like when it comes to spoken words, it doesn't have to be a 1-2 rhyme, 1 2 3 4 rhyme. Like it doesn't have to be as consistent. I could just write how I'm feeling, and as long as it makes sense, then that's what it is. But music as well, as long as it makes sense, at least for me, it plays a good part of that.
And when did you have that realization that music was for you, that this is what I want to do long term?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I recently started, so it's only been like, 3 years, I would say. But after going to the studio consistently, I would say it started off like once every 3 weeks or once every month. But after picking up the amount of times that I would go, and then also collaborating with other artists and just being around creative people a bit more consistently, I feel like I was like, this is a space that I feel comfortable in. It's a space that I feel like I can express whatever it is that I'm feeling or thinking. So I was like, nah, I enjoy this. I like to do this. It started off as, just a hobby and something that I would do for me, but then I was like, I feel like I'm good at it. I think people feel like I'm good at it because they are very receptive. They listen to it. So, yeah, that's kind of when I was like, I think I could do this. So, why not? Let's do it.
So speaking of people being receptive to the music, has it been easy to gain that support within your family and your friends?
I would say with family and friends for the actual music, yes, obviously there's a lot more to it than just making the music. There's obviously, promo and the business aspect of it. But as far as, constructive criticism, as far as willingness to, let's say, pull up to a show or something like that, they're very supportive for me in that space. They really do enjoy the music that I make as well. So it's like they motivate me to do better, to grow as an artist. They'll have their, like I said, constructive criticisms on specific songs. Some they'll like more than others, but yeah, they're very supportive. And it also takes a village no matter what you're doing. You feel me? So you need that support system. And I feel like both friends and family at least encourage me to do it, encourage me to be better, and tell me what I'm lacking. So I find it great.
If you didn't have that support and that push from your village, do you think you would still be doing it right now?
I think I'd do it more privately. I think I'd still do it as a form of therapy, but not, as a job or something that would support my lifestyle, if that makes sense. I feel like I definitely would still do it as an outlet, so that way I can express myself. But as far as releasing the music, I don't know if I didn't have them pushing me to do so, I don't know if I would still do it, because a lot of people suffer from imposter syndrome, so you don't really be thinking that you're good enough. But sometimes you just need to hear it, and then you start to believe it, and then you push forward from there. So it took me a while to actually start to believe it.
Until it came out of somebody else's mouth.
Yeah, but I won't say until it was multiple people. You feel me? Just because, let's say, one person might tell me, it's kind of just like, yeah, but we cool, so you might just be telling me that. But it's just from not only the people I know, but strangers as well, listening to it. That's when I started to at least be a bit more confident, which is reverse. You should always be confident in yourself, no matter what you're doing. But I feel like definitely was a cause and effect of them telling me, hey, you actually have something here. You can actually do something with this and that. Like I said, I didn't believe it at first, but when it's not just the village, but outsiders saying that and coming to you, just like, okay, maybe, for real. I'm not normally a confident person, so that's, you know what I mean? So.
Well, I'm glad they kept pushing you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they kept pushing you.
Appreciate it. I'm glad they did too. Like I said, it's something that I enjoy. So, and sometimes you find yourself bringing yourself down. So, but they got me though.
I've noticed you collaborate with some artists like Saint Blue, K-Rora, and Lyra. Right. What goes into the collaborations, and how do you kind of pick who you want to collaborate with?
I guess it depends on the song, depends on the vibe, and sometimes the session. So sometimes we're all in a session together, and we'll hear a beat, and either everyone's throwing something to it, or it's just be like, I hear this person on it, so can you create something? If you can't, if you're struggling, then that's fine. We'll work on it a different time. But a lot of them, like K-Rora, he's, I would say, probably the person I collab with the most, because he's also my friend. Obviously, with Lyra and St. Blue, they became my friends over time after collaborating with, as much as we do, and also just sometimes we'll just sit on each other's sessions, sit in the sessions and be like, oh yeah, you do this, do that. So because we've built, like I said, our own little village, it's easy for me to collab with them because I trust their input, not just sonically, when we're listening to it and they say, no, you could adjust these levels, you can do this on the backgrounds, you could add this, take away that. But just the vibe that we create within the sessions, it's comfortable. It's a safe space. So we obviously, you're able to make your mistakes and you can do as many takes as you want, punch in as much as you want. But they don't get frustrated with you as an artist. And obviously, same for me. Like when it comes to criticizing their stuff, like they're okay with it because they know I'm not only coming from a place like of friendship, but also like, no, this song needs this for you. Now, if you don't like it, if you want, you have full creative control over what you want to do with your song. But as a friend, as a fellow artist, or as a fan of you as well, I think this would sound good, and they'll do the same for me. So, just for the quantity or the amount of times that we've just been around each other, it just became a thing. It became easy to collab with them.
So who are you hoping to collab with in the near future? Like any celebrities or anybody on your mind?
So like big time names, obviously, like the J. Cole's, Drake's, Kendrick's. There's so many like Corday. There's so many different artists I want to collab with for multiple different reasons because I want to tap into multiple different genres. And I want to be able to write a country song. So hopefully like Shabuzi, I can, collab with him. I want to, do pop songs, do R&B songs and stuff like that. So there's multiple artists. Chris Brown is another one. So those are just big names. But as far as like up and coming or independent artists, I'll work with anyone. Really, you need a verse. Just ask. I'll do my best to deliver something that is up to the standards of what you want, and above that as well. Same when it comes to me. If people reach out or like DM or email, whatever the case may be, like feel free to. Like I'm willing to do it because that not only builds my following but yours as well. So people who follow me go, listen to our song. Now they might like your music. You got to follow them. Same vice versa. So very symbiotic type of relationships that I try to build, and very also genuine relationships. I don't want people to feel, like they're being used or they need to use. I know you can't control what other people do, but I feel like the more genuine the connection or how authentic the interaction, and everything is, then better music will come out for it. So I'm really just willing to work. That's really it.
Have you ever had to turn down a request to collaborate with somebody?
I don't think I've ever turned one down. I think I've had to reschedule and stuff like that because at the end of the day, life be lifing.
Right.
And even if I'm also a thing of I'll try to put other people together too. So even if it's a song that I feel like I probably wouldn't do good in, or I just have writer's block or something, I'll probably be like, hey, all right, maybe not me, but I know this other artist that might be interested, or this is their style as well. Would you mind working with them too, or something like that, or whatever the case may be. But I don't think I've ever turned one down yet. I still have I want to say a whole lineup of people who I'm supposed to be working with right now. And we just, what was it? Earlier this week, I think on Monday, I worked with a completely new artist, or two completely new artists on a session. I played them a couple of songs that I had open verses to. And then I was like, if you don't jack these, then we could just create a beat from scratch or look one up, whatever the case. And he liked all three of them. He wanted to do all three of them. I was like, it's also a time crunch, with the session. But we worked on one, he wrote to another, and he wants to come back, so we'll do that. And another one just hit me up yesterday about coming to the studio too. And then, I have a whole lineup coming up. So hopefully I get to work with a lot more people.
So we expecting some music on the way, y'all.
For sure. Got a lot on the way.
So looking at your two EPs, No Longer Satisfied and Misery Loves Company, tell me what went into those EPs, and do you write about the things that you are going through?
For sure, I definitely do write about the things that I'm going through in each EP. Out of those two EPs so far, I was at different points in my life, and also different mindsets when it came to writing them. So obviously the theme for Misery Loves Company is different forms of misery or different forms of loss. Pardon. My bad. But different forms of misery, different forms of loss, and each song is identifying a different form, right? So around that time, I was going through a lot of loss, whether it be loss of life and family, or loss of a job, loss of whatever, you know what I mean? But I feel like when it comes to No Longer Satisfied, I feel like that one was was a bit more of an upbeat time for me. I was in a better place, and it was around Valentine's Day, so I wanted to drop something a little bit, you know, less depressing.
Right.
So I felt like that theme wouldn't go well with around the time that I was writing it. So, yeah, a little bit lighter vibe. Yeah. So I definitely, like I said before, I write when I'm going through things or when other people are going through things. So that definitely influences every song or every EP, for sure.
So, touching a little bit on Misery Loves Company, I did listen to the song Misery Loves Company. It added a lot of rawness. Can you just, I mean, you kind of touched up on it, but can you just talk to us about what you were going through at the time, and like, how did you get what you were going through on paper?
I think for that EP, that probably was one of the easier songs to write for me, because around that time, at least that song specifically is talking about the loss of life, and around that time, I had lost, you know, a few people in my life. So, some friends had passed away, my cousin, my grandmother, and then even one of my closest friends, his older brother, passed away, and all within like a month and a half of each other, or maybe 2 months. And it was just easy for me to write, because in the song I'm talking about having an open line with heaven, so that way I could speak to those lost members and just ask them, like, how do you expect me to, you know, move or talk about you without feeling a certain way? So it was easy for me to write that song specifically because I genuinely felt like that. And, you know, there's multiple different points that I touch on in the song, but the overall theme is just loss of life and me dealing with it. And if it was me on the other side, like, how would you speak about it to other people? Like, what would you tell them about me, type of thing? So what do you want me to tell about you? And that goes for, you know, like I said, my cousin, my grandmother, my friends, or even my close friends, relatives too, that I was close with. Yeah.
What was the reaction to the EP when it dropped?
To be honest, a few, like I said, relatives and or friends teared up a bit, like especially for that song, because I told them like what the driving force of that song was, like what made me write it, and who specifically influenced the song. And it just, you know, it hit home for a lot of people. And I'm happy that it did, because that's what I wanted it
Right.
to do. I wanted it to be something that you could touch on or you could listen to and actually envision the lyrics and then also put yourself into the scenario. So I felt like the reaction to it was definitely positive in the sense of it was very receptive, but it was a very emotional reaction. So.
Did you ever think you would get that, I guess, that emotional? Like, I know you write for yourself, but did you ever feel like other people would relate to what you're writing, or you don't really write with people in mind?
I mean, I write with people in mind, I guess, but when I feel like the more emotional songs, I feel like are emotionally triggering for me. So I'm writing for me and how I'm feeling, or I'm putting myself in the shoes. So it's kind of like, how do they say it in acting? Method acting, right? So I'm putting myself in that space and really just feeling what I guess the vibe should be when I'm writing it. And I don't necessarily expect other people to feel it. I would like them to. Now more so than ever, because yes, I still write for myself and it's my form of therapy. But like, if it's a specific subject matter nowadays more so than before, I'm like, no, I want you guys to feel this. I'm writing so that way anybody who does feel like this can express it when they're singing the lyrics and be like, okay, no, this song was for me. I made this for me. So it's like two things being true at the same time. It's one of those things where it's yes, I write for myself, but I'm hoping you feel it too.
Okay. So did you ever feel like you would have that impact on people?
No, I never felt like I would, because like I said, the people is what pushed me to release it. So I never really expected other people to really feel me, but the more I released, the more I previewed the songs as well. That's when I realized, oh, okay, what I'm saying matters to somebody. So then I started to believe it. So now more so when I release more of the emotional songs or deeper songs, I'm like, all right, somebody's gonna understand.
Someone's gonna feel this.
Somebody's gonna feel this.
So looking at your song that you released a little over a year ago, Dumb and Naive, comparative to the music that you make today, what is the difference? Do you think there is a difference? What is the growth?
I feel like there's definitely a difference between that song and any of the recent things that I've dropped or done. Because Dumb and Naive was like, that was still like my first year. I was finding my sound and just playing with a bunch of different, different sounds, using my voice a lot differently. And not having an understanding of like the recording process and what it takes to actually make a song. Granted, I still love the song, but I feel like now, because I have more of an understanding, because I do sometimes take a bit more time to write, I'm better as an artist. And I'm still growing. Like I always want to do things better. I always want to sound better. So technically my sound is always evolving and changing, but I'm trying to make sure that each change is for the better. So if it's a different plugin, if it's a, whatever we're doing when we're mixing and mastering, I'm like, no, I want it to sound not only professional, obviously, but also just as close to perfect as can be. And I feel like I'm at a better place now than I was when I first dropped that song, especially for how long me and the engineer and the producer has been together working. The process is a lot more seamless because we get in, we talk about the idea, we go in and we record, and by the time, probably same day, we already start mixing. Sometimes we'll let it sit and then go back to it, but for the most part, the actual recording process and mixing and mastering process is a lot smoother with us because we've been working together for so long, and that goes along with the collaboration. If you collab with, similar people enough and frequently, it becomes second nature. It becomes easy. So because of that, and because I understand him now, he understands me, and what we're looking for, I feel like we make better music.
So speaking on your process, what does that look like for you? Do you sit down and write? Do you find the beat first?
I feel like each song is different. I can't say that I sit and write every time and then, pick a beat. Sometimes I'll pick the beat first, sometimes I'll write first. Sometimes we'll go in, we have nothing prepared. We're just in the studio just because we want to be consistent and we just want to be there. Even if we didn't talk about anything, we'll be like, all right, let's find something, let's do something. And we'll start it from scratch. Sometimes we'll freestyle and just punch in. Each song is different. I feel like it also depends on, like I said, the emotion of the song. If I feel a song a lot more than others, it's easier for me to write or just talk about the topic, and it'll take me like 30 minutes to write. But then some songs, it'll take me 3 days, or I'll just start writing it and I just don't go back to it for like a week or two. Mm-hmm. So I think each song is different, each project is different. And we have so many moving pieces together, like either me having to do a feature or working on a project, or a different EP. Like we're working on like collab EPs as well. So there's so many different parts going on at once. We're just like, all right, so whatever we're doing today, that's what we're doing today. If you came prepared with something, that's what we're doing. If you didn't, all right, let's find something because we got stuff to put out. So each one is different.
So as you progress as an artist, are you looking to be more independent or are you looking to sign with a label?
I mean, right now I'm, independent. I'm up and coming. So I feel like there's positives for both. Obviously, when you're signed, you have a bigger backing. You have more money behind you, especially for promoting your music and outreach and stuff like that. Obviously, when you're independent, there's distribution services as well. But obviously, it's all off the muscle of you. Your fan base is really coming to you because they either know you or they like you, heard you from someone that you know or someone they know, and it's a bit more authentic because I feel like a lot of people get into the fakeness of the industry as well and fall victim of that. But I think for me personally, if I can make it all the way through independence or I could own everything, I will. But also I'm not against sitting in and talking to any rep from any record label, cause why not? See what they think I'm worth, and then try to leverage that. You feel me? So, and I'm worth a lot. But
Being a Haitian descent, how do you think that pours into your music? Are we expecting any compa songs? Like, what's going on?
that's definitely that's the driving force in basically a lot of things I do in my life. Like I know I'm proud to be a Haitian man. I'm proud to be of Haitian descent. I'm proud to be born in Haiti. You feel me? I'm an immigrant. So everything I do, no matter where I'm always wearing something Haiti related.
Y'all see the chain?
For sure, for sure. And yeah, I plan on working on some comp. I mean, that's what it goes into the versatility of me wanting to do multiple genres. I definitely want to work with Haitian artists, either Haitian rap artists or just compa artists as well. So that way we could do, Haitian English or just if it's full Creole, whatever we can come up with. I wanna work on it because I feel like if you're Haitian, you should always be proud to be Haitian. I don't care what nobody say about our country. I don't care what nobody say about our people. You should always be proud because we're the first to do exactly what they wanted to do. Everything. So, yeah, I'm very proud, and I stand on, like, everything I do revolves around me being a Haitian man. So, I always feel like I gotta one up everybody anyway, because everybody's always gonna talk down on Haiti. Well, not everybody. Some people understand and know, but.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. So, for sure.
So what's some advice, I know you're up and coming, what's some advice you have for even newer artists, how to tap into their sound?
I mean, I feel like everybody, no matter what field that you're in, the main advice that they give is like consistency and stuff, which is definitely a big part of it. Like if you're not consistent, then you're definitely not gonna learn and understand what you need to learn to get better. But it's also having a passion for it. It's also understanding the business. So it's not just making music. Once you make the music, now you got to release the music. You got to own the rights to the music. If you do, you're writing, you're publishing. There's background stuff that I feel like gets lost because obviously, yeah, you get your managers, you get your reps and stuff like that. But you as an artist, you should learn it too because you don't want nobody to screw you over for sure. And then also don't be scared to collab with people. Don't be afraid to network because you're really not gonna get anywhere if you don't network. Because it might be music, but it's also media. And if you don't know the right people, you're never gonna get into the right rooms. So don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to open your mouth and ask because closed mouths don't get fed.
So it's not really about what you know, but who you know.
Exactly. I mean, both.
Both.
For sure.
Both of them.
Both of them, for sure. But it's better to know things and it also know people.
So equally as important.
Equally as important. And then also have an understanding of who you are as an artist, what you want to do. Because some people, like I said, with me, I want to do everything. I want to be versatile. Some people, they just want to stay in one lane. Figure out who you are as an artist, and then hyper fixate on that. And then you'll be able to maneuver and then be consistent with it.
So tell us what's next. Are we expecting new music on the way?
For sure. There's a lot of things that are next. I have a couple of singles that are gonna be coming out. I have a joint EP that's gonna be coming out. It's like a little funk EP, a little road bounce type of thing. We're working on. I do have a project that should be coming out very soon called I Poppy. We just worked on the cover for it. We are picking a date. We have a date in mind already.
Tomorrow, hopefully.
Nah, like sometime in May.
Okay.
Right. So by the time this is out, they should. So check the platform.
Tune in.
See if we started promoting it already. But yeah, we're gonna have like a TikTok dance challenge for it and everything like that. So that's gonna be, I think, the closest release. Everything else should be following that, just because it's about to be the summertime. So I think I want to be. I want to give like a summertime vibe. Mm-hmm. But then there's gonna be some little R&B stuff in there too, just to get somebody in their feels. But yeah, so a lot of things coming soon. A lot of collabs, a lot of solo stuff. Near future. I know artists say that all the time, but like very near future.
I mean, he's talking about May, y'all. That's
2
right
weeks.
there.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks. So yeah.
So where can the people find you?
So Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. CassGod _ on all platforms. So CASSGOD _ on all platforms. Social media. Now for the music, Kingcasso, KINGCASSO, no space. All right. So that's me. You can find that on all streaming platforms, all the singles, all the EPs, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, wherever you can listen to music at, that's where you can find me. So Kingcasso, KINGCASSO, no space. All right? Cool.
And before we end this, I did take a step into the studio with y'all.
You did.
Let's check it out, yo.
Oh, Garcelle! Okay, keep going. Let me in.
Now it's lunchtime.
Right.
I need some pasta. That Rasta. Let me get some Rasta pasta. Put the chicken on the side and we mixing it. Yo. Hey. Yo. Hey. Breakfast. Let me get some breakfast.
Yeah.
I need a bacon, egg, and cheese stack. Make it quick, make it a wrap. I'm not playing with y'all boys, y'all cap. I'm pulling up on the breakfast. Let me get some breakfast.
Let me get some
breakfast.
Let me get some
Breakfast. Breakfast. Let me get.
He's like, what are y'all doing?
Now it's lunchtime.
Right.
I need some pasta, that Rasta. Let me get some Rasta pasta. Put the chicken on the side and we mixing it. Chef Bert.
Damn. If it sounded good, then it should be coming out great. It don't.
Okay, let's go to dinner. Hey, let me get that. Let me get that. D, sauce bar, leggy, pasta. Zo, you already know. I'm mixing with the sauce, with a pickles at dough, and I'm stunting on these hoes. Give me a call back now, ho. And I'm pulling up on the block, but I gotta make these niggas hot, cause I'm. Let me get the D and the sauce bar. Let me get the. Thank you so much for joining us on the first episode of Off the Top. Y'all make sure to check out all his music and all his content on his platforms. And like, subscribe, comment, all that.
Step in the spot and I'm looking for duty. They on my body, so let's make a movie. When she make it clap, that shit sound like a Uzi. She wanna lock it down like a